Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. It's actually looking pretty darn good, folks. This is great news. Super happy that it's working out well for majority of our community members, those who caught the trade. Just to quickly kind of preface here, we did take a Solana profits about 41% in 2 trading days yesterday. So that's awesome stuff. We still got some additional targets to go, but I do feel like 93 could be a really strong support, resistance, and then 94 something we want to look at. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But to clarify, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I hope you can learn something today. If you do want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is the website, link down below. And what we'll do is we'll talk a little bit about liquidation data here, see kind of what's going on. And to all our new community members, because we do have a handful of folks that just came over, make sure you read through our signals guide. It explains the difference between premium and premium plus, my day trades and my swing trades. Okay, they both perform very different, and you want to wear 2 different hats when you're utilizing those different trade signals. Also, obviously, make sure you watch completely, even multiple times, through my trading university, so you get the gist of how I like to take my trades. Okay, again, different strategies for everyone, but you apply your own risk tolerance to those things that you learn. It's always very helpful. So when I mentioned 94 before, 94 is that next key level here for liquidation. Strong chance we're going to see 94 to 95 based on a heavy amount of concentration at this level. Doesn't mean you won't have success if you try to consider shorting right now. It's just you have less potential success trying to short Solana at this moment. Okay, it still has good momentum going into the weekend from Bitcoin having that nice little jump. And even if Bitcoin pulls back, which it has a little bit, we can see that correction from Solana is faster to the upside. So those are things you want to look for with altcoins. And that's what's kind of going on here. So again, congrats to our community members. If you are considering an entry, 93 might be a good consideration. Let's go ahead and talk about that. First things first, on the daily time frame, we want to double check a few key factors here. So let's quickly look at the moving averages, right? You can see the price action right there at about 94. The simple moving average 20 is right there at that level. We can see we're trying to break above, but haven't truly yet because today's candlestick hasn't closed yet above the 50. Being above the 50 and the 20 would be massive, okay? Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't dump, we should be in pretty good shape to see Solana continue higher. Bitcoin right now is giving us a lot of false positives. Okay, the problem is with Bitcoin, it's kind of confirming on a lot of different time frames, a lot of different directions. Okay, so the truth is we don't know where Bitcoin's going to go, but it does feel like we're going to see one more leg up to 42,500. Seems like that's going to be one of those liquidation levels that's highly contested, so to speak. So there's a good chance we could see that from Bitcoin. If that is the case, Solana should continue to pump, and of course, 97 is at roughly the next key level fib here for us. Okay, so let's talk about the moving average. The RSI right there at 50. We're just above it. Now, this is not a full-on confirming factor. It just kind of tells us that, hey, we're testing that resistance level. Getting above the 20-day SMA, first of all, will be that trend setter, and maintaining above the 50 as well is going to put us in a position where we're going to look to have some pretty bullish signs here. Bitcoin has also got some really nice bullish signs too on the daily time frame, where we have a MACD convergence here, just almost exactly like this here. And then furthermore too, we're testing 50 on the RSI for Bitcoin. Bitcoin can close above 50 on the RSI on the daily. Decent chance we see the price continue further. Okay. Now, I'm not claiming that we're back on track here and we got a bull market and we're just going to take a run for it, but I can tell you though that Bitcoin is in a curious spot right now, and if it can close above some of those levels, we could very well see some long potential. I know right now market movers are probably trying to fake people out, helping people try to think that it's worth taking some late longs. Once enough retail gets into some long positions, then they're just going to sweep the bottom. Okay, there's a good chance that could happen. So please understand that, but it would make sense that Bitcoin legs up a little bit. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, why in the heck is this guy talking about Bitcoin so much? This is a Solana analysis. Well, if you don't know what Bitcoin's doing, you're obviously not really, your head isn't in the game, okay? Because you have to understand what Bitcoin's doing. It's pretty much the catalyst for this. Having said all that, Solana is performing better than Bitcoin in the overall sense itself. In other words, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio between the two. Having said that, we can see we got a nice little 50-day SMA, and a correction as a 20-day SMA, and we're above the 50, testing the 100. So it's kind of that natural little squeeze here. So we're just going to kind of have to see what happens here. Truth is, we keep retesting this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times now at roughly $93. Strong chance we're going to break that level, considering that was a previous resistance for us as well, right? So getting above that is going to be huge. So it's exuding a lot of good bullish signs, and it looks like it's ready to break out. Just be mindful that a lot of this hinges on Bitcoin just kind of not being a terrible coin. Okay, if Bitcoin goes, just say Bitcoin stays exactly where it's at, 42,000 for the next 7 days, most altcoins will start to surge. At that point, I would start to concern myself and realize that we probably need to start shorting soon. Right now, though, kind of in that transition, it's a weird place. Having said that, let's take a look here. RSI, good shape. Money flow index is higher. That's awesome. Money flow index is above that, of course. And then obviously with stochastic RSI being swinging up for the second time here, it's a very, very good sign. I've mentioned this previously. The second time is typically more impactful, okay? Because again, it's implying that you're retesting a resistance level, okay? So a second stochastic swing to the upside here leads me to believe we should see a break to the upside here for Solana. So to those of you who are in the current trade that we took, I think we got in, what was the entry for that? 80, it was pretty low. Let's see if I can figure it out. Yeah, 87 was the entry, roughly 87, and we averaged down to roughly about 86 for our entry because we had 2 entries. So what I'm getting at here is that, if you got in at 87, 86, continue to hold that open. I think the probability of price going up from here is fairly high. It looks like we're on the right track here, and Solana is going to continue further up. Let's quickly double check a couple things though, just to make sure, because we are seeing this with other coins too, where it's a slight cause for concern. It just depends on your trading style. In other words, we're above the cloud here. You can see this running concurrent with the cloud, the trend line, and the support level. So being above the cloud is extremely important. But the price action is kind of within the lagging spans within the price action, and the conversion line and the baseline are kind of intersecting. So this kind of tells us that it's losing its momentum to the upside, and that unless it breaks out soon, the price will continue sideways and or down. Okay. So I'm saying that just because if you have profits, you may want to consider taking those. We've already done so. That's why we took 40 some odd % on our trade. Now, if you want to consider taking some profits yourself, you got in at in the $80 mark, maybe consider doing so just because we have this little window of opportunity closing. My speculation though is the price is going to break just based on how obvious this reattempt of this level here is looking. It seems like we're just going to continue to progress further up. Okay, so I think that we're just kind of retesting this little range here, and we'll inevitably break, retest the support, and the likelihood of continuing higher is pretty great. There could be some liquidity levels there, of course, as I mentioned previously. Obviously, 94 to 96 some liquidity, so there's a decent chance the price action, if it wicks up, we could see a quick wick up to 96, and that could be the extent of it. Okay, so just be mindful of that, and all the more reason to consider taking profit between 93 and 96, if possible, if we continue to retest that level. So that's kind of where we're at there. I think it's mostly bullish here, though. Last thing that's mostly bullish too as well is our phenomenal exchange. Thank you again, Bitunix, for an excellent opportunity. Make sure you check this out, folks, if you haven't already. Awesome exchange. They provide no KYC or no VPN, leveraged options, of course, to our community. So deeply appreciate that. Thanks again, Bitunix, for the awesome opportunity. And again, you use my link, you get some really nice rewards there. Be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you all in the next video. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye.